But as you go on, you do build up a bank of knowledge, and Jarvis, the album, is an example. I mean, these songs are crafted. I'm not saying they're crafted in the way of Backrack and David, but there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, I mean, that record was written when I was in Paris and I was kind of on my own, so it's probably the most crafted thing that I've done because I had to do it all on my own, really. I mean, when it came to the recording of it, I involved other people just to try and make it vaguely palatable. But yeah, it was the first time that I'd really written a whole record on my own. And
can we hear from Auschwitz to Ipswich?
This is, another toe tapper. This was, again, a guy came round to my house in London and was just going on about some relative of his having been kept in some kind of concentration camp, or prisoner of war camp, actually it was prisoner of war camp, near Ipswich. And suddenly, because the phrase Auschwitz to Ipswich came in my mind, and I couldn't resist it, even though it was kind of slightly inappropriate. But yeah, I like being a bit perverse. But this song, musically, is quite pretty, actually. It's a pity that I had to spoil it by writing such dark lyrics. But and Users, going back to early, Users makes use of the chord that was used in Babies earlier on. Here, cunningly disguised with its close relative, the D major, before it. And let's see if I can get through this without making too many mistakes. So, they want our way of life. Well, they can take mine anytime they like. 'Cause God knows I know I ain't living right. I'm wrong. Oh, I know I'm so wrong. So like the Roman Empire fell away, letting it tell you we are going the same way. Ah, behold the decline and fall, all hold hands with our backs to the wall. It's the same. Why don't you admit it? It's the same. From Auschwitz to Ipswich, evil comes. I know from not where, but if you take a look inside yourself, maybe you'll find some in there. Not one single soul was saved. I was ordering an Indian takeaway. I was spared whilst others went to an early grave. Got stoned. Yeah, I went out and got stoned. Well, if your ancestors could see you standing there, they would gaze in wonder at your frigid air. They had to fight just to survive, so can't you do something with your life? It's the end. Why don't you admit it? It's the same. From Auschwitz to Ipswich, evil comes. I know from not where, but if you take a look inside yourself, maybe you'll find some in there. Here it comes. Why don't you embrace it? 'Cause you lack the guts needed to face it. Everybody's going to win. They want our way of life. Well, they can take mine any time they like.
From Auschwitz to Ipswich. Thank you so much, Jarvis. One final question. What would you recommend to someone who's trying to write songs for the first time as a starting point, or a bit of professional advice?
Well, when people ask me for professional advice, I always think that I'm the last person they should ever ask, because I languished in a group for going on for 15 years before we ever had a hit, so I couldn't have been doing anything very well in those years. I think the other big thing is to realise that there aren't really rules to how it works. I was very lucky that all that punk thing happened, and encouraged me to have, to dare to try it. I think that's the main thing you've got to get over, to think like, I could be an artist, I could create things. You tend to think, oh, it's just the super beings who can do that, or people with qualifications, or geniuses or stuff, and that's rubbish. Anybody can do it. That doesn't mean that everybody will do it, but I think the beauty of songwriting is the fact that if you kind of are prepared to throw yourself into it, any human being could do that. And that's what I appreciate when I listen to songs, that another human being did that thing, and it came from nothing. One minute they were sitting in the living room having a cup of coffee, and the next minute they picked up a guitar and they wrote something where there was nothing before. And that's kind of a miraculous event to me. And that's what keeps me doing it, because it's nice to have little miraculous events in your life, isn't it?
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks. Thank you, yeah, well, thank you for putting up with me. Come on!
Did you just come up with
I could, but that's, I could dance that all night.